Yes. No way. Oh my God.
Very subtle.
Unbelievable. Oh. And he missed it. Oh my God. Ooh la la.
Boom, no chance.
That's crazy. Game, set, and match.
This is too much.
Hi everybody. Even though for me and for a lot of you, I guess it's very early in the morning or late at night, however you call it, we are super excited because we have two big matches coming up, and the first one will put on each side of the court Carlos Alcaraz and Alexander Zverev for the first semifinal of the Australian Open. It's a great match to watch. It's a great match for many reasons, and as it's a Grand Slam semifinal, it's always super exciting. What can we say about it? A lot of things. First of all, are we surprised to see those two players in semifinals? Not really. We can have a look, and we will have a look at the draw. This is the top part of the draw, and we're gonna see who those guys did beat in order to reach this semifinal. Alcaraz, the two players that were most difficult on the paper were Tommy Paul and Alex de Minaur, and he was one class above them. They didn't have any chance during the match. I mean, despite the ups and downs of Alcaraz, he basically killed it. And when I look at Zverev, he had on the paper a few difficult ones. Nori, Cerundolo, who beat him a few times, or Teen, that was so impressive. And what we can say is that Zverev played an incredible match against Teen, who also played great. I think it was one of the best matches, by the way, of this Australian Open. I mean, really dominated him, and especially with his serve, who was really, really impressive in that quarterfinals. There were a lot of questions leading to this Australian Open regarding those two players. Questions on Alcaraz we had. We had because, you know, a big change happened in his life. His lifetime coach, Ferrero, and him parted ways. So we thought, wow, I mean, he's more than a coach. He's almost he's like a second father to him. How is he going to feel? Going to be a lot of pressure on him. Everybody's going to talk to him about Ferrero in every interview. Is it going to bother him? Make him overthink. Also, he didn't play even one match prior to this Australian Open, so we had no idea of how he was able to perform. But again, he looked like exactly the same as what he looked like in the other Grand Slams last year. In the first rounds, very up and down, but when he needed it, he was able to play such a high level that nobody could really compete with him. And we'll see now that he can't afford anymore to have too many ups and downs. If he's able to sustain the concentration, the focus for a full match, because if he doesn't, of course, then the match is going to be more complicated for him, because now he has someone that is at another level. Regarding Zverev, we had also a lot of questions because second half of the year was not great for him. He started the year not playing really well and having some losses. He was very shaky at the start of the tournament. Could feel that his confidence was not very high, but match after match, he played better and better. And this quarterfinals against Teen was, again, he was extremely, extremely impressive. Served so well, was very, very consistent from the baseline. And so it was something that he couldn't do in the first rounds. He was missing literally one forehand out of three forehands he was hitting. Against Teen, he was very solid on both sides. And he pushed himself to be more aggressive than usual, which is something that he's trying to achieve because he knows that if he wants to win a Grand Slam, he will have to play that type of tennis. He cannot stay 2 meters behind the baseline and hitting cross court. He really needs to create more and win the points. So two very different styles today. One, and I just said it, Zverev, who's first of all serving amazing, high percentage of first serve, a super powerful serve that gives him a lot of free points. In the game, if someone is really a counterpuncher, is used to be quite far from the baseline, is still quite far, moving extremely well, not missing much, hitting with a lot of intensity. That's his type, but again, is a player that's trying to evolve. He already played 2 Grand Slam finals, never made one, and he knows if he wants to make one, he needs to be in charge. He needs to be the one dictating, and he needs to go and get the points rather than expecting the mistake from the opponent. On the other side of the court, probably the most creative player that exists, someone who takes a lot of risks, who has so much in his game. He can do anything with the ball. He has an incredible power. He's moving forward, is taking the balls early, is having an incredible drop shot, is also volleying extremely well, and for his height, he has a pretty good serve also. Who's a favorite? For sure, Alcaraz. Last year, it was all about, except at this Australian Open, by the way, where he lost to Djokovic, but otherwise they played the final, him and Sinner, the finals of all the Grand Slams, the final of the ATP finals. So there are two guys that are one level above anyone. But for Carlos, he will need to play with focus. No ups and downs now against Zverev. If he loses his serve, it's not going to be that easy to break Zverev back because of the quality of his serve. We have a few also statistics that we're going to go through that will explain also the qualities of both players, and I want to go through it before we start. I mean, it's about the serve, of course, because throughout this Australian Open, Zverev won 78% of the points on his first serve, which is huge, and served 71% of first serves in, which is huge too, with an average speed of 205. The last match he played against Alcaraz, he got 75% of first serves in, with an average of 203 kilometers per hour. That's extremely high, but he only won 54% on his first serve because of the quality of the return of Alcaraz, but also because once the rally starts, Alcaraz was way better than him. He was in attack 41% of the time behind his first serves, but he failed to capitalize. Also, Alcaraz is incredible in defense. The match is actually starting right now. Few other figures. Zverev, as I said, is trying to improve constantly. So that's a few points that he was able to improve on. So when he plays serve plus one and he hits behind the baseline, the shot after the serve. Last year he was winning 49% of the points. This year 57%. That's a big improvement. And on his forehand, which was really the weak part, he won 65% of the points with his forehand compared to 58% last year. So again, he improved, and he improved in terms of consistency. Just when there is a big pressure points, big pressure moments, if there is one side that's gonna start to fail, it will always be the forehand, and he just hit a forehand 2 meters out because he has nerves. It's normal. It's the start of the match. So that's what we're gonna really focus on. We're gonna look at the quality of the serve. We're gonna look at the forehand, and we're gonna see in the rallies who has the edge. So we're ready for another long night, and we are not only ready, bring a cupcake official, we are also excited. This time for this semifinal, the roof is open. And if I look at the schedule of the match, I think they pleased both players, Alcaraz and Sinner. I think Alcaraz prefers to play day because his ball is more lively and he has such a heavy topspin with his forehand. And I think that Sinner prefers night because we've seen that the hit is not his best friend. Everything center of the court so far for Alcaraz, and when he tries to open, he misses it. 1-0 Zverev. And interesting to watch the statistics already because Zverev won 100% on his first serve, 3 out of 3, and only 33% on his second, 1 out of 3. And 5-set match. We'll see. We talked about what it was about in this match, the quality of the serve of Zverev, of course, and it's going to be a lot also about the ability of Alcaraz to be full focus from first to last point. And an ace to start, 200 kilometers per hour. We'll check also the serve of Alcaraz because he made a change at the start of the tournament, doing the start the same way as Novak Djokovic, with letting the wrist go down in order, I guess, to improve the pace on his first serve. Let's see if it pays off throughout the tournament. I didn't see a big difference in terms of speed or first serves in. I think it's almost the same as it is always. 1 millimeter out forehand. And an ace from Alcaraz to close that first game. 1 game all. Big serve from the German. It's impressive because the speed of the first serve so far, average, is almost the same between those two players, 200 and 202. Not so much to say so far, except that both players are really focusing on their serves, having good figures there. I mean, it's usual for Zverev, not as usual to be that consistent with the serve for Alcaraz. In the game, not so much so far. A lot of mistakes on both sides. Probably, again, the tension of the start of the semifinal. And we already see some kind of tactics from the Spaniard. He plays a lot center, looking for deep center, pushing Zverev to open up the court, and then goes down the line or opens 40-15. And typical Alcaraz, good serve, takes the ball early, comes to the net to finish up the point, and he doesn't even need to hit a volley on this one. Back to 2-all. Interesting stat. Zverev can become the first German to beat the seed number 1 in a Grand Slam, and the last one was his brother, Misha Zverev, who beat, I think, Federer at the Australian Open. We've said, of course, so many times how many ups and downs Alcaraz was having in his matches, especially in the first rounds of the Grand Slams. And there's always this question: why? Why does he have so many ups and downs? I think it's a combination of two factors. I think he gets bored when he feels that it's kind of too easy, and I think he loses focus, and I think he's also very emotional. So, and what makes me think that is that when he does those unforced errors on those moments, I feel that his wrists get really blocked and the ball escapes. He needs this looseness of his wrist in order to keep the ball in, and when it gets tight, suddenly the wrist doesn't cover the ball and the ball flies. So to me, this is more nerves. And service game won by Zverev easily without dropping a single point. I mean, personally, I haven't been as impressed as usual by Alcaraz, even though he won all his matches very easily. I think, and I don't have the stats, but I feel that he's hitting way more unforced errors than he used to hit in the tournament so far. It's statistics that would be interesting for me. I think Alcaraz is one level above everyone. I mean, him and Sinner, so he should win that match. But I still have the question that I had before tournament. Does Alcaraz have exactly the same mindset as before? Does he feel as confident as before with switching parting ways with Ferrero? That's the real question. And so far, again, it has looked very, very inconsistent. Of course, he still has all the shots, all the magic in the racket, but not the same consistency in the game. And when I say consistency, I just said he's never very consistent in the first rounds. But I feel that a lot of shots are going away from his racket, and he's committing a lot of really big mistakes. He's lucky, Alcaraz, because he pretended to hit a drop shot, ended up hitting a slice deep, but exactly where Zverev was, who could hit a passing shot winner. He hit the net, 15-all. Ace from Alcaraz, great zone short. And if I speak about Zverev, because I have to speak about him too. He's been quite impressive in that tournament, and especially the quarters against Teen. And I don't know, he looks like he's on a mission. Even if you look at his eyes, his body language, he looks more locked in as he's ever been. And a good body serve, forcing Zverev to miss that return. 3 games all. For me, the match hasn't really started yet. Alcaraz is not creative for the moment, but I feel that he can't because too many balls escaped from his racket too far. He needs to feel his shots first, and I don't think he has a great feeling so far. So that affects his creativity. And also, Zverev doesn't give him a lot of options to be creative. He's playing deep. It's difficult to be consistent in that match and for the match to start because both players are missing quite early in the rallies, and I feel that they're playing too fast, both of them. They're playing at a very high pace, so they don't have time to really get into the rallies and feel their shots. And that's amazing because Zverev decided to follow at the net and gets past Alcaraz really super far back, but from that position he hits a passing shot cross-court backhand that touches the line, and the first break point of the match, and very missed. So why Zverev looks promising, but in the end he loses the match? Why is it always like that? First of all, it's not always like that. Zverev is winning a lot of matches throughout the season, but in the big matches, in the matches against those guys, he loses most of them. Yes, that's true. I think that's simply because they are one level above him. That's simple. They're one level above everyone who's playing tennis, the same way as Nadal and Federer, when they were 2, before Novak entered in the mix, were one level above everyone. And all the players, top 10, were saying at that time, it's impossible to win a slam. Those guys are too good. And we're seeing the players' gym with Sinner doing all his prevention work, getting his body ready for the fight that he will have tonight. Now a lot of players are doing what he's doing at the moment, yoga. A lot of yoga has become really, I would say, a trend. I'm not saying it's not useful. I'm just saying that a few years back, nobody was doing yoga. And I think it's mostly Djokovic who set that trend. But champions set trends because everybody else tries to copy what they're doing in order to be as successful as them, which is completely understandable. Erotokritos, am I enjoying my time in Athens? I love it. Love, love, love. I used to live in the south of France, in the French Riviera, who's supposed to be one of the best places in the world. Actually, it's great. But to me, Athens is really one level above, like the Alcaraz and Sinner of tennis. I hope we have a good match, guys. Zverev is also hitting a lot of mistakes, both players. But usually, I'm rarely impressed by Zverev. He's super consistent. He doesn't miss. He's great fighter, super focused. There is nothing like crazy impressive in his game. Of course, I have huge respect for the career he makes. That is amazing. But when Alcaraz is on, it's a different story. And another break point. It's going to be a break point on second serve from Zverev. I mean, just to tell you how good is this guy, because with so many unforced errors, he's still winning all the matches in 3 sets. And now he has a break point at a key moment because it's 4-all. Oh my God. And Zverev goes for way too much on his second serve and hits it 1 meter out. He's angry. I don't know who he's shouting at. Probably at his team. What is he saying? He's shouting at his team. Wow. Now Alcaraz is going to serve for the first set. 3 set points for Alcaraz in that match. That didn't start yet. Oh, and another big miss from Zverev. Guys, can you please start the match? We woke up at 3 a.m. because the match is super promising and we want to see the match. So start playing, guys, please. I think, as I said, Alcaraz's performance today is perfectly aligned with Alcaraz's performance since the start of the tournament. What does it say? It says that Alcaraz is one planet above everyone because for me, he's not playing well at all. Sorry to say it, but I feel he's making so many unforced errors and not small ones. Like the ball doesn't escape from this, and at that level, you can think, okay, they have so much control on what they're doing. When they miss this. But the balls, the mistakes, most of the time, it's 1 to 2 meters out and not a little bit. 29 unforced errors average per matches in 3 sets. It's huge. So if it's mistakes because he's super creative and, doing a lot, coming to the net, taking a lot of risks, okay. But most of the mistakes, it's on, rallying from the baseline and suddenly, boom, 2 meters out. So, and I think Zverev is super, super nervous because he played so well in the quarterfinals. We're in a Grand Slam semifinal. Alcaraz, 6 winners, 10 unforced errors, and Zverev, 5 winners, 13 unforced errors. Oh my God, what about this smash? And Zverev is clearly super nervous because he's being very vocal against his team. That's a huge miss, and Zverev almost never misses an overhead. The guy has so much feel over the head. The guys, they qualified, they're in semis, they did the hard work. Zverev should really go for it now. If he doesn't go for it, he's not the favorite for the first time since the start of the tournament. All the guys he played, he was heavy favorite. I feel that Alcaraz is not trying to be creative so far, and Zverev is super tight. And so when you're in a semis of a Grand Slam, usually, you've done the hard work. You've won so many matches, and you've been the one. I have the statistics of Sinner so far in that tournament, and we took away the match that we took out this match because he did so many unforced errors because he was cramping full body. But otherwise, average per match Sinner in that tournament, 23 unforced errors, which is quite a lot for him too, by the way. But 23 average for Alcaraz is 22 usually. Sinner 23 in the tournament, and Alcaraz 29 average. So it's way more. And again, it's big mistakes. It's like ball really escaping from the racket and loss of control. I give you our win predictor that I received before the match started. 75% of chances for Alcaraz to win. Alcaraz would break every 4.4 games. That's exactly. And Zverev every 6 average. Another mistake backhand from Alcaraz back to deuce. And the AI sees a match in 4 sets with a 38% chance of a 4 sets match. We have a... Okay, so let's look at the speed of the shots of the players. So today, compared to the whole tournament, Alcaraz is playing faster with his forehand, 138 kilometers per hour compared to 128, and his backhand, 124 compared to 118. So it confirms my impression that they play faster than usual, and that might be a reason why They make more unforced errors than usual. They're kind of overplaying, playing flatter and faster. I mean, this is just Alcaraz. Oh, that was a completely missed drop shot from Alcaraz, which is quite rare. And Zverev comes to the net to finish up the points. And what about the second page? We have a second page. That's the rally battles. 0 to 4 shots. Alcaraz 23 to 16. 4 to 8 shots, very close. 5 to 4. And 9 points, 9 shots and more. Zverev is winning most of the rallies. That's set 1. Let's see. We will see how this evolves throughout the match, which is always, most of the time a good return against most of the players on second serves. But even more a day like today when players are, tensed because it affects the movement. And if you don't really move fast around the ball, you're going to make a mistake. One stat is, on the other hand, really impressive from Alcaraz is despite the number of unforced errors, is the percentage of first serve of the Spanish player, who's up to 79% after more than a set, with 81% of point one after his serve. It shows how difficult it is to break him today. Another point finished at the net, and what is Zverev telling his team again? He looks unhappy. He looks so angry. Yeah, it's really a tough job to be the coach of some guys, considering how much shit you have to take at every match. It's definitely not something I'd like to do. Goran did not coach him for similar reasons. Always late. He needs to improve his attitude. I didn't know that Goran didn't coach him. I remember that Ferrero didn't want to coach him. They started and Ferrer also. They complain about him being always late and not listening and stuff like that. That's the first. Oh my God, what is this? I don't know how Carlos ends up winning that point because the drop shot was not good. Then the lob was not good. And that will add to the frustration of Zverev probably because he had 2 occasions to win that point. Alcaraz is half smiling, is not smiling as usual at all. So it shows that he's nervous too. He's not enjoying himself today playing double fault. But we're still waiting for the match to start. The pace of the rallies is way faster than usual. And that's also a reason why both guys do many mistakes, many more. Oh, that's a great volleys. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a point. That's the first great point from the match. And Alcaraz showed all his athletic capacities in that match. Unbelievable, because the volley of Zverev was amazing. I don't know how he hit that back. And then he hit one crazy volley. But no, he didn't get a Vamos because it's Zverev who won the point. Oh, what a return from Alcaraz. It starts. The match looks like it's starting now. No, bring a cupcake official. I never coached a Mexican player. And I wouldn't like the player to show up late because I feel that's the first respect you should show to your team is to be on time. Otherwise, you're wasting the time of the people. And you think that you're basically saying your time is not important. I don't care if you wait for me for an hour. So I understand that a lot of things are due to the education or cultural. But I think if you want to be a top player, you have to be able to adjust to some things. And actually, I don't know if I would coach again. But what I know is I'm not going to coach anytime soon on tour. I mean, of course, I'm coaching every day at my tennis academy or wherever I am because I spend more time now in Athens than in south of France. But yeah, I'm on the court. But to coach someone on tour, I'm not ready for that. Not anytime soon. Oh my God! Oh no, it's strange what Zverev is doing. What Alcaraz is doing in that match. You know what? He didn't hit one drop shot winner the whole match so far. It's really strange. That's what I'm saying. He's not very creative so far. I think the toss of Alcaraz also is amazing. He's almost always exactly in the same spot. That's a key also. And I like how he keeps his head up until the end of the shot to avoid when the head goes down, bringing everything down and hitting the net. Big mistake again from Alcaraz. It's wrong timing. It's a timing mistake. No, this one was not a drop shot, I know, but it made me think of the drop shots. And he changed his mind many times, You think he's going to hit a drop shot, and finally he changes his mind and plays a slice forehand deep. Oh, la, 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 la. Zverev hitting one forehand. He thought the ball would be out. It was, I don't know how, miraculously in. And then shanks the second one. That stays in too. But 2 other break points for the German. It's going to be second serve for that saving that break point. That's better from Alcaraz. Very simple, very solid. Return of Zverev is too short again, way too short. And the Spanish player is inside the court to hit that forehand. Go down the line, come to the net, and the only thing that Zverev can do is a lob. Is this an auto break? That's my favorite. I mean, sometimes you see players really auto just trying themselves on one service games and giving the break literally to the opponent, and I call this an auto break. Yes, big mistake again from Alcaraz. It is an auto break. I've seen that somebody said sometimes he hits the forehand with the body weight completely going backwards. It happens a lot in that match. So many of the shots of Alcaraz. Look at this one. He's going to hit the forehand, still moving to the left side, and of course the ball escapes. He's too slow. I don't think we have a game. I mean, so far it didn't start. We can look at the stats. I mean, Zverev literally auto broke himself in the first set and Alcaraz in the second. Okay, so this is the comparison between Alcaraz and Sinner since the start of the tournament in terms of winners and unforced errors. As you can see, in terms of winner, they're really close. Alcaraz is hitting 2 more per average per match, but look at the unforced errors, almost double. We have to take out the ones of Pizziri because, again, Sinner was cramping full body. Of course, he's going to make a lot more unforced errors. So 29 compared to 16 average per match. I tell you, it's almost double. That's crazy. Yeah, I see that bring a cupcake official is saying sorry to compare, but in the era of the big three, it would have been a match full of rallies and intense battle right now. Not necessarily, but maybe. But I think that the last 2 seasons hurt a bit Alcaraz and Sinner because they don't have someone that really pushes them except each other. So they really struggle. I mean, especially Alcaraz, of course, Sinner less because that's not his. I mean, his mindset is to be full every shot, but it's not Alcaraz's mindset. So I think it hurts his game to have too many of those matches where he gets bored because he has too much margin. Yeah, I get your point, Aimumbo, especially with some of the guys. I think Berdych was amazing, but he never threatened the guy really. It's not a good volley, but slow second serve and volley from Zverev, of course, he's going to miss the volley. Yeah, I think you're right, but I think also that the problem is the players that play against Alcaraz and Sinner, that's well done by Zverev, very good. They're too, except Zverev, but otherwise they're too young. They really need to develop. They're not consistent enough. They still, to really challenge them, they need time to develop. Because look, Musetti is very young. Shelton, Teen, extremely young. Rune, they didn't finish the development. So they will be more a threat in a few years than they are now. And I think the guy who's going to surprise everyone is Teen. I think he's the guy who can challenge them the most at the moment because he's complete. I feel that he's ready. I'm not saying that Teen is better than Fonseca. I think he's more ready. Maybe Fonseca in 2 years, but he needs to develop more. And I don't think he's ready yet. And I think people expect too much from Fonseca now. And they should give him the time to develop. I think he's amazing, but he needs time. And I think Tin is more ready. A very strange match so far. Tin is very mature. That's true, Stefano. Very mature. For his age, that's impressive. I had the same feeling with him being mature when he was completely unknown and beat Medvedev at the Australian Open last year. Silent Wolf thinks that Fonseca got hyped and talked about too quickly. I agree. He has so much pressure. To develop in that pressure is so difficult. Yeah, give him time. Fonseca is Brazilian, and Brazilian people are super behind him. They're they're crazy supportive, and the hype came from that also. If he was Belarusian, I'm not sure there would be the same hype around him, even though he's great, of course. I love Fonseca. I think he has huge potential. I think Tin is, I agree, he's very calm, he's very focused. Also, there are many great Americans. You have Ben Shelton, you have Fritz. In Brazil, you have nobody. And then Fonseca comes out, and everybody gets behind him, which is great. But again, it's crazy pressure and expectations, which is not easy to deal with when you're that young. And again, you still need to develop a lot. Alcaraz won his service game, saved, I would say, his service game, and now he has no other option than to break, or it's going to be 1-all. Oh la 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 la! It's such a bad shot from Zverev because the return of Alcaraz is short. It's not great, and I don't know why Zverev hits a slice forehand. He panics on this one. Complete panic. There was zero reason to hit a slice forehand on this one. He could have attacked. And he felt rushed. He was not. If Zverev makes one more unforced error in this game, to me, that's another auto break. Not done yet. Because Zverev can hit a good first serve, come back to deuce, and then it's a different story. Oh, that's so good. No, amazing job by Alcaraz, and I cannot say it's an auto break, even though Zverev did 2 unforced errors in that game, but it's also 2 very good rallies from Alcaraz playing really fast, and especially the last one to break. So I can't say that it's an auto break, not this one, but still too shaky when it comes to closing that second set. I mean, you don't do 2 unforced errors. You don't have the room to do 2 unforced errors for no reason on easy balls, because they were short balls in the game. You know, if you want to win that match, you need to deliver when it comes to the big moments. You have the right to be shaky, but you have to deliver. Didn't deliver. And Alcaraz took advantage in the best possible way. Down. We're back to no more break in that second set. Everything has to... Zverev has to restart now. What would I tell the player if they're missing 2 meters out? I would say, hey, calm down. Don't play at a pace that you cannot handle. Play at a pace that you feel comfortable. Yes, you take the risk that your opponent is going to accelerate, but play deep. Look for depth. This is too short, and it's a winner from Alcaraz, who's back to 5-0. But he's not relaxed at all, Alcaraz. Even when he does this, you see crispation. Usually he's laughing, he's relaxed. He's zero relaxed today. You can feel his tension, and that's why he's not producing the tennis he usually does. He's not creative at all. Zero. He missed almost all his drop shots, they were too deep. Why he's not creative? Because he's nervous. As he's nervous, he's playing also too fast, and the ball comes fast, everything goes fast, so he doesn't have time to build the points. He's just reacting to fast balls and 2 break points. But that's the thing with Alcaraz, which is so tough for the opponent. Like, he doesn't play well, he misses balls everywhere, he gets broken, he auto breaks, and suddenly, boom, locked in, boom, breaks back. And then, how good was those rallies he hit to now have 2 breakpoints? Yeah, I agree, Mumbo. Forehand of Zverev was amazing. How did he counterpunch this one? I tell you, something clicks, and suddenly it's like superpower. Look at that defense. Look at the defense. What now? Oh no, he misses it. But look at the quality of Zverev in that rally. Unbelievable. And Alcaraz is everywhere. I don't speak Spanish. Plus, I don't have the sound on. What is he doing? He has another breakpoint. Alcaraz is not creative. Otherwise, he makes the opponents run. Ace from Zverev. You see, that was amazing from Zverev. He had the break. He served for the set. The frustration is probably high. And then suddenly, he's 15-40 down. He has 2 breakpoints, which are almost set points. 2 sets would be 2 sets to love. And look at the reaction. The rally was unbelievable. And then he hits an ace. So sometimes he does really well on the big pressure points. And another good serve, and now he has a game point. Yeah, Carlos is creative when he's changing rhythm. So he plays at this speed, and suddenly he has the occasion, and boom, and then comes to the net, or drop shot. I feel in this match, because of the pace, the general pace of the match, both players are playing boom, 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 boom. No change of rhythm. I don't know if there is a strategy, to be honest. Zverev chose the wrong side, and again, never come to the net inside out, because it's fully open. The down the line is fully open. You just put the racket, and then it's a winner. Always inside in when you come into the net. So I don't think it's a strategy. I think that Zverev feels, I need to play faster if I want to be able to potentially beat Alcaraz. So I'm going to go full, and fast and deep, and so it's called overplaying. And as he's overplaying, he's overmissing. And now Alcaraz responds to the very high pace of Zverev. Actually, that was very good from the German. What an end of a game for Zverev, since he was 15-40 down. That's amazing. And for the first time in the match, Alcaraz has more winners than unforced errors. 20-17, but Zverev is still 16 winners for 22 unforced. Both players have exactly the same percentage of first serve now. Alcaraz is more dominant in percentage of points won after his first and percentage of points won after his second. The end of the set is way better than what we've seen so far the whole match. And if we want the match to become interesting, I hope that Zverev is going to win the second, because if Alcaraz is 2 sets to love, I'm afraid it's going to be a 3 sets win again. Who can beat Alcaraz and Sinner? I don't see the guy yet. And if it's someone new, in the future it can be a few guys, but today I don't see anybody. Unless Alcaraz's level drops. Actually, talking about that, there was that debate about the top 10 being better before. Then Grigor would definitely not beat Alcaraz and Sinner in a Grand Slam and win the tournament. Yeah. So, you know, this debate that the top 10 was better before, but again, the top 10 was judged throughout the whole career. And the current top 10, most of the guys are very young and they're already judged. And I had my AI team create bots with exactly the qualities of all the current and previous top 10s. And I had all the previous top 10s play against Alcaraz and Sinner. They're not winning. No chance. Murray was the closest, I remember. Okay, so that tiebreak now. Let's focus. Let's see the serve of Zverev, if he raises the quality of his serve. And let's see. No. I took out the top three. I took out Djokovic, Federer and Nadal. If you take those three out, then by far it's Murray the best. Yeah. The closest, but the closest is winning 2 times out of 10. So anyway, so let's watch this tiebreak and let's see if Alcaraz is playing the same level as the one he played at the end in the last games. If he's more offensive, more creative. Again, I'm shocked by how big the mistakes are. For guys of that level who have that feel in the racket, how can you miss from that far? Sinner is missing. The ball is this out. It's not 2 meters. That's a good second serve. Oh, that's not good. Ooh la la, lucky, because he played in the direction in which Zverev was running, and if he would hit this, that's a very good reflex from Alcaraz, but a bit lucky. You remember Novak Amico 900? You remember Novak winning with 100 unforced errors? When was that? Maybe after 4 hours and 30 minutes of match 7-5 in the fifth. Then, yeah, it's more possible. But serve, way out. And you know, I'm thinking of something. I think that Alcaraz needs a lot of wins to have the confidence. He didn't play one tournament before the Australian Open, which I think was a huge mistake. I think he should have played 2, actually, not even 1. And I remember last year he played Monte Carlo and he ended up winning it. But he was playing bad tennis. Really, really not a good tennis. And that's what's amazing with him, that he's able to win. He has this ability to win playing bad. And after he won Monte Carlo, at the end he was playing better, but still not great. Then went to Barcelona. I mean, lost in the final to Holger, but, won a lot of matches again. And then from that on, he started to play better. But it took him, a title plus a final to start to really play well. And I remember that before, even during Monte Carlo, he was missing so much. So that's why he still doesn't have enough matches under his belt. And Sinner doesn't need at all. If Sinner has a good practice block, he can start to be, to compete, he will play great from the start. That's a big difference. And I would say it's the same with Rafa. Rafa was the same. I remember, was starting the clay season. They're still shouting at his team. Starting the clay season in Monte Carlo, and I remember him playing. So he was not missing a lot because he's never been a player who misses a lot, but he was playing very nervous. He was playing center, he was playing slow, and he was relying a lot on his movement to win the matches. And once he was winning Monte Carlo, then the level will go up. Then after winning winning Madrid, another level, etc. And then he was coming to Roland Garros, unbeatable. It looks like Alcaraz was keeping the drop shots for the tiebreak. Almost didn't do one, and the only few he did were really bad. And now in a tiebreak, a lot. 5-all after a missed forehand return from Zverev. Alcaraz was well inspired to hit a good serve. 5-all. Now it's going to be a set point for one of those two players. A ball for 2 sets to love or 1 set all. How important is that ball? Oh my God. The return of Zverev was unbelievable. I thought it was out and it ended up touching the line. Set point for Alcaraz. Zverev serving. Good serve. Good return. And I think we're done. 2 sets to love for Alcaraz. Unbelievable. First service game of the 3rd set, but it's up 2 sets to love. It's a huge advantage. Of course, we know Zverev. We know he's going to fight until the end. Oh my God, what is this? What is this point? My God. First of all, the first thing is, what a choice from Zverev to go for a drop shot that, by the way, was bad. But he just had to hit the ball anywhere and it would have been a winner. And then this volley of Zverev, lucky. That's really strange. That's really, really strange. But it shows how nervous Zverev is in that match. I think those two guys, since the start of the match, are playing way too flat. But I have to say that I really admire Zverev's mindset, having struggled so much throughout his career to win a slam, being so dominated by the two guys, and still believing, because he still believes he will win a slam. I'm sure 100%. Yes, that was a very good drop shot from Alcaraz, who's leading that third set. You don't think he believes? I think he does. I really think he does. I think he really thinks my time will come. If I keep working, there will be a moment when I'll have the opportunity. I think he believes. I can be wrong. Nobody knows what's in his mind anyway. A service game won comfortably by Zverev. I have a good question from Marcus asking me if I teach a hard court slide to my players, which is something now very common. It was not at all, but it became very common. No, I don't, because they do it naturally, which maybe sounds weird, but you know how much players watch players and not even knowing it, they're copying things. So I don't need to teach them. The only thing that really impresses me in today's match from Alcaraz's side is the quality of the serve. And we talked about this technical change. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, because I don't think he serves faster. He serves same speed, 197 average, which is very normal for him. But I think he has a very high percentage, 67%, and he wins 81% on first, 63 on second, which means that he's inside the court very often after the first serve. It's perfectly done. Again, good serve. Inside the court to hit the forehand, follows at the net, easy volley, closes the point, even though the forehand was really short. And an ace to close that game. Again, impressive on the serve. Alcaraz, really impressive. He's already at 34 winners, which is his average since the start of the tournament for 3-set matches. 34 winners, and he's reduced a lot the unforced errors in that third set. He's still at 22. How many just in the set? Can tell you. Just in that set, only 3 unforced errors so far for 8 winners. That's way better than what he has produced in the first 2 sets, of course. I mean, he's more confident and more relaxed. He's 2 sets to love up, and I told you how much winning was important for him to make him feel confident about his game and then perform better. It's even throughout the match. Yeah, I would be interested to see to know the number of points won by both of the players through that match. Between 0 and 4 shots and over, to see if it's still the same. But because I feel that Alcaraz is over dominating now the serve, the 0.4, but is still losing most of the long rallies. Fastest serve, 213 for Alcaraz, 216 for Zverev. First serve average, 197 for Alcaraz, 200 for Zverev. Second serve average, 163 for Alcaraz, 170 for Zverev. So it's not huge, the difference. 9 aces to 7 for Alcaraz. 2 double faults, Alcaraz, 3 Zverev. And now 68% of first serve for Alcaraz and 72 for Zverev. 79% of points won for Alcaraz and 73 for Zverev. Alcaraz is completely losing his focus at the moment. He does only strange things. He's putting himself in danger again. And another ace for Alcaraz, the 10th, 207. You see, he loses his focus and boom, important, boom, ace. Serve winner, ace. And 4-3 for the Spanish player, still dominating. And even though there is more quality so far in that third set on both sides, way less unforced errors, more winners. Actually, Alcaraz didn't hit an unforced error for quite a while now. And so, same for Zverev. 4 for Zverev in that third set and in 7 games, and only 3 for Alcaraz, and 10 winners to 8. So you see, now we are back to finally good figures. So way more winners than unforced errors for both players. I mean, that's what we expected today. But I think the match really started with a better level at, let's say, half/end of the first set. You guys are making fun of Zverev. 4-3 Alcaraz, 2 sets to love Alcaraz, and Zverev to serve. Oh my God. This drop shot miss from Alcaraz, so static. It looks like zero focus. What do you think about the quality of the match? Very low quality, but for a Grand Slam semifinal between number 1 and number 3 in the world, I think the quality is very, very low. Sorry to say it. I would really wish to say something else, but we have to be honest. We're far from the level we expected, and also far from the level that Zverev played in quarterfinals against Tin. If he would have played like this against Tin, I don't think he would have won at all. I think it's a very weird Australian Open. Very weird. We almost didn't have one good match. What is this drop shot again? Oh, la, 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 la. What is this? The drop shot of Alcaraz is so bad, especially for someone who's so good at that. And what about the forehand of Zverev? I mean, Alcaraz almost didn't play, and he wins the point. No, the level is low. Do I expect a better other semifinal? Not at all. Not at all. We'll talk about it later, and I'll do the commentary. But no, I don't expect a better. So, Erotokritos, do I think that Kalitos today low level is due to Zverev's bad performance? I think yes, but not only. But I think that if Zverev would have put the bar really high from the start and not miss at all, and then Carlos would have had to adapt, and I think he would have adapted. That's what I think. But as the match was extremely erratic on Zverev's side from the start, then this is the match we got. Well, what's happening to him? Hope he's okay. Looks like he feels something on his knee. Zverev shouting at the chair umpire because Carlos is taking a bit more time. So angry. Zverev today. If it's cramps, which it can be, then it will just mean that the level of Carlos since the start is really due to stress. And if he has cramps, believe me, Zverev is going to start to be really making sure that Carlos doesn't have any extra time. He's going to go against the chair umpire big time. Yeah, 2-love for all. Not many rallies. And the guy is cramping, it's just nerves. So it confirms what I think. He's tight. He didn't win a lot of matches. He's not confident. He's stressed because he's not confident. So get ready for a very long match. How good is Alcaraz serving without the legs? Oh my God. He finds a way to win the 2 next points with drop shots, not even being able to serve. This Australian Open is the weirdest I've ever seen. And it's not the conditions because it's not even hot today. It's just nerves. Oh, wow. I mean, Zverev did absolutely nothing. Since he saw the cramps, he just hit the ball back in play short and 5-4 for Alcaraz. He should call the physio. Of course, you're not supposed to call the physio for cramps, but who doesn't do it? Everybody does it. And actually, even Sinner did it and had a lot of extra time, got treatment. I mean, you need save time, drink a lot of water. I mean, you should play the same. That's the thing. When your opponent cramps, if you start to think about it, you're going to start to be shaky, expecting mistake and just putting the ball in. And in a way, if the opponent is cramping, he needs to move. That's what you need to do. But you shouldn't think, I have to make him move. You shouldn't think, I need to put the ball in. You should think, I play the same and I play offensive. I play to hurt him on every shot. That's it. He's right. The rule says you can't have treatment for cramps. You can't. That's what the rule says. So he's right. But the thing is, this rule is never, ever respected anywhere. So he's right, but he's wrong. But he's right. That's the rule. So it's always the same. They should change the rule because, it's easy to say I have pain in one leg when you're cramping, which is not what he says because he gets special treatment for cramps. So exactly, it's like on-court coaching. Everybody does it. It's not legal, but everybody does it and it's tolerated every time. So why not change the rule then? You either make the rule be respected or you change it. But this is the worst, to keep that rule that doesn't allow players to have treatment for cramps and still you allow it every time. I'm not surprised. I mean, not that I didn't expect it, but I'm not surprised because I told you several times during this week, I think that Carlos is super emotional, and that's the reason for most of his unforced errors. And that's why he misses with so much, he misses so far out because as he is very emotional and stressed, it's just that the wrists lock. I mean, they should be able to apply some more spin to the ball, but as they lock, they blocked and then the ball flies. He's very emotional in general and he doesn't handle his emotions well. So, of course, when he gets, and he's way less confidence than it looks like, especially once he gets a lot of wins, then he starts to be more confident. But when he doesn't, then, he's super, super nervous. He's all kinds of emotions. All players have all kinds of emotions, but they control them well, so it doesn't affect their game too much. I think in Carlos's case, it affects his game a lot. Same when he's down on the score, it affects him in a way that he finds ways to find super resources. Alcaraz is not enjoying himself at all today. He's not creative. Yeah, he was super nervous. So, I mean, if he does break and win the match now on this game, honestly, this is a complete joke. I can't believe Zverev is not going to be able to pass a first serve here. That was a big pressure point. There was a match that was interesting. It was Alcaraz, Sinner, and Roland Garros also. Not the final, of course, but they played each other maybe the year before, or 2 years before, and both of the guys were cramping at the same time. 2-1 when they started to cramp. So again, nerves. 5-all. So to answer the question, technically, Zverev has a chance to win a Grand Slam. He can have Alcaraz cramping because of the nerves in the semis, and then you know what? Alcaraz gets injured, and boom. Sinner gets injured in the final, and boom, he wins the slam. 6-5 Alcaraz. That's extremely difficult to guess what's going to happen, especially in that third set. Does Alcaraz still has a chance to win it, even though he's cramping that bad? Or, in a way, he doesn't have that chance. And Alcaraz has no other option to go for the winner and let's say, first 2 shots. It's a lot of pressure. So Zverev probably thinks, I have to protect myself. He's going to go for a winner. And as you say, he thinks this is getting very defensive mentally. Let's see, 6-5 Alcaraz, Zverev serving. He needs first serves to protect himself from an aggressive return from Alcaraz. Second serve, again, danger. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my God. I mean, when players are stressed, and definitely Zverev is super stressed at the moment, they don't see the game. He was standing there waiting, and he hit the overhead on him. It better hit a first serve, I can tell you on this one. Love 30 again, like on his previous service game, and it's an ace. If he loses the third, he's going to lose the fourth. 100%. What a return from Alcaraz. Drop shot for sure. Yeah. And it's going to be a tiebreak. Good to go for a 5-set match. And it's going to be very emotional. I mean, when you watch the match now, it just shows how talented this guy is. You know what? It looks like Fonini without cramps. I feel like Alcaraz is Fonini at the moment, walking on the court and hitting winners. I confirm what I said earlier. I can see it. Even though Carlos is amazing so far at playing just with the arm and hitting his spots, it cannot continue for long. So he's going to start to make mistakes, and just 1 or 2 mistakes in the tiebreak, and he's going to lose it. That's one mini break already for Zverev. I mean, there is no game plan when you cramp like this. The only thing you can do is win the point in 2 shots. So I think what he's doing is the right thing. Be very aggressive on the returns. Go for winners and drop shots. That's all you can do. And take a maximum time between points. Get ready for the 5th set. 4 set points for Zverev. And that's done. I take a break, and I need to take care of my cramps. And I see you back for the 4th set. We're back. We're back. Something surprised me. Why didn't Alcaraz take a very long toilet break? That's strange. It's for me, rookie mistake, and I don't understand how his team didn't tell him, take time. You are allowed to take a toilet break. Use the rule. The more time passes, the more chance he has to recover from the cramps and being able to play again. So he should make the match as long as possible. He's allowed to take a toilet break at the end of the 3rd set. It would take 10-15 minutes. He needs that time. What did Sinner do? I think Sinner is much better at using the rules and pulling them to the maximum when he needs to. I think it's a rookie mistake, because now is for him to be able to win that set is almost impossible. If he would take more time, he stretches the time, he might get better and better. I agree with that about Alcaraz sportsmanship. In a way, is a little bit too pure. I can feel also the stress of Zverev. It's huge now. He really struggles to play his game. Some of you guys wrote it on the chat, and it's true. He's looking at Alcaraz too much, and he's not playing Alcaraz, he's playing Cramcaraz. Thank you, Destiny is bad person, for your nice comment. Yes, Zverev is tough for him, is very nervous, is playing very central, so he doesn't move really Alcaraz, because I think he's scared to miss Cramcaraz. So he gives even more opportunities to Alcaraz to hit winners, because he's not really challenged. Listen, Erokritos, anything can happen. But, so potentially Zverev could cramp too, but I think it's also a nature. Some guys never cramp. Some guys cramp when they're very nervous or into very extreme conditions. Sinner, Alcaraz, I've seen them cramp a few times already. So I'm not surprised it happens in that type of situation when one is super nervous or conditions are super hot. Actually, Sinner cramped here, but he also cramped in Asia a few months ago. Alcaraz cramped and Sinner too in Roland Garros when they played each other a few years ago. So we know it's something that can happen to them. What is this? Oh my God, the quality of the hands of Alcaraz are insane. Insane. And that situation shows the amount of crazy talent of this guy who just plays with Zverev like a toy at the moment. That's a good point, Aimumbo. And I think he's serving a little bit better, Alcaraz, which shows that he feels a little bit better. But the match is nuts. That's from the start to the end. The match is nothing we expected. We expected a good match with two guys taking their chance. A lot of winners. Congratulations, the Sladen guy. You're winning it. Then Alcaraz really was dominating, and he was on his way to an easy 3-sets-to-love win. And suddenly the cramps are taking him, and he's actually playing better tennis, but cannot move, so it's difficult. But every time he hits the ball, he does something great, which he was not doing, by the way, when he was fully moving, because he was too nervous. But even though that was enough to beat Zverev in 3 sets, how come Alcaraz is missing this? Can you guys explain? This match is ridiculous. Like, he does the most difficult things and he misses the most easy things. I tell you, this match doesn't mean, makes no sense. Makes no sense. 3-2 Zverev. It's miracle after miracle after miracle. Zverev was 5-3 up in the second, serving, then 5-4 serving for the set. Let's see if Alcaraz is still able to play that well without movement, or if at some point he's going to start to hit many more unforced errors. I'm still saying I think Alcaraz is hitting the ball way better since he has cramps. And I also think that slowly but surely he's starting to move a little bit better. Now I cannot confirm it's going to be 5 sets anymore, because I mean, honestly, Zverev should be 4-1 up already, because, you know, he played a guy who cannot move. But I mean, his opponent is cramping, so it's great for Zverev when the point is longer. He's moving way better. Doesn't make this one, but he's moving. He starts to move better, and you can see on his face that he feels so much better than a few games before. You can see it. Yeah, he's back smiling, and you have to take advantage when it's the moment. I mean, that was so much the moment for Zverev at the start of this 4th set. Okay, 4-3 Zverev. Alcaraz to serve. New balls. Let's see what Alcaraz can do now. Looks his way better, but if he's moving better, then he probably will start to get tight again. And voila. 2 unforced errors. This match is a joke, I tell you. He plays better with cramp than without. I mean, so good from Alcaraz. This backhand taken so early, played down the line. Zverev forehand speed. So set 1, 133 kilometers per hour. Set 2, 122. Set 3, 122. Set 4, 115. So he really slowed down. And he saves again his service game. Can you believe it? That since he started to cramp, he didn't lose his serve once. And at the moment, I think he's doing a bit better. He's doing better. But he was serving with 0 legs, 0, and could definitely not hit 3 shots in a row. And he still didn't get broken. It's not John Isner. He doesn't have an incredible serve. He's just a good server for sure. Very good server, but now he's moving. He was not moving at all. He doesn't move amazing, but he's moving. 5-4 Zverev. Are we taking the direction of a 3rd tiebreak? If it goes to the tiebreak, I think Alcaraz will win it. It's funny, a lot of players like say hi and even discuss every day, and if they play against each other the whole day, they're gonna ignore each other. So they pass like this, and they just cannot look at their opponent. I always found that funny. I cannot say hi to you today because I'm playing against you. You can say hi. Now is love 30. Up, suddenly intention is back. Love 30 down. I have to react. Second serve. Without the legs, he was not missing one. With the legs, he's missing more. Interesting. And poof. And then Zverev shanks the ball. Why not use pickle juice before? Good question. I mean, you can't drink pickle juice at every single match. And I don't think he expected to cramp at all today, because the conditions are not very hot. But you're right, when players would feel, they know they can cramp and they would feel super nervous during a match and super tense, it would make sense to drink pickle juice in prevention. And strangely, now again that he had the cramps and everything, he starts to feel the ball better for the drop shots. And I remember at the start, for me, that was a big warning, the fact that his drop shots were so bad. He has such a big touch, this player. It was just showing the nerves, for sure. Too static on this one. Needed to step one step towards the ball. Well, because pickleball is good for cramping, but it's not good to give you back all the nutrients you need that you lose in your sweat. So they're special drinks with electrolytes, I think, for your general efficiency during the match is better than only pickle juice. And 6-5 for Zverev in that fourth set. So remember when he started cramping, I said he's going to lose the third and he's going to lose the fourth because it's going to take one full set for him to be back to 100%. Actually, that's what's happening. The thing is, Zverev did not take advantage of it. Otherwise, they would be playing the fifth already. So we're heading towards that tiebreak that we were expecting in the fourth set. And here we are, 6 games all. And we have an Alcaraz that is way fitter than one set ago. And let's see if he can put together his fitness that he has back now, at least 80%, and the looseness that he got when he didn't have the fitness. Or is it either or? He has to choose between being tight but fit or unfit but loose. And it starts with an ace of Zverev. 1-0 Zverev. Alcaraz to serve. 4 hours of play right now. Oh la la, that's a bad mistake from Zverev. Such a short ball on his backhand. Slow, and he misses it. Oh my God. That's such a big miss from Alcaraz. And I think he changed his mind because originally I think he was going to go for a drop shot and then thought, oh, it's too many drop shots. And then he decided to hit the ball. And again, 1 meter out. He didn't miss one ball 1 meter out while he was cramping like crazy. How come? 3-all. It's the most indecisive match because whenever one can really move forward and finish, it just starts to get tight and misses. After this match, Mumbo, we're all gonna go pro. No, but it shows one more time how much tennis is all about mental. So mental, this game. The cramps of Alcaraz are mental. The crazy unforced errors of Alcaraz before the cramping, it's all mental. The inability of Zverev to just take advantage of the match when Alcaraz is cramping, it's mental. The fact that when he's going to lose, suddenly Zverev is serving better, playing better. Same for Alcaraz, it's mental. This is crazy. It's all mental. Of course, you need to have the fitness and the shots, but I always said the guys who win Grand Slams, it's not with their tennis, it's mental. 2 set points for Zverev in that fourth set. I'm done. 2 sets all with Alcaraz back fully and him not cramping anymore, so he finally can move. Maybe he's going to be more free to play, and Zverev doesn't have to face a player that is diminished by cramping. He's going to play full 2, and we might have a good set, which we didn't have yet. Deuce, and actually the 5th set starts way better than any of the sets we had before. A few very good rallies, but still Zverev better in the longer rallies, winning more points than Alcaraz. Yeah, and if Zverev plays better, then he's going to push Alcaraz to play better as well. But so far, it's Zverev who's dominating in that first game. No first serve for Alcaraz. So no, I get too excited too early. If I look at the figures, 4 unforced errors in one game for Alcaraz and a double fault. It's going to be tough to win like that, but you never know. Most of the time when Alcaraz is down, that's where he plays the best. It's really difficult to commentate that match because it's so hectic. And yes, that's a massive choke, but he's choking since the start of the match. That's why he cramped. And even choking, he was about to win in 3 straight. That's what I'm saying. The match is so hectic. There are so many unforced errors on both sides. And as Zverev is coming back from hell, of course he got lucky, but he's still coming back from hell. I think he might be the one playing the best in the 5th. So far, Zverev is playing the best he's played since the start of the match. He feels that he had so many opportunities to lose it, and he's still there. So that gives wings. Spanish fans desperate at the moment. Yeah, the quality of the game of Zverev is the best since the start of the match by far. Zverev has broken. He's broken in the first game with 3 unforced errors from Alcaraz and 1 double fault. Zverev is playing by far way better now than he's ever played in the match. Good luck, bring cupcake official. And 2 love for Zverev, 2 good for Alcaraz in this 5th set. 4 hours, 19 minutes of play, and 4 hours and 10 minutes of good tennis. No, sorry, 9 minutes of good tennis. I think Zverev should have won in 3 sets because the level of Carlos is really far from his best. But the thing is, the level of Zverev was also far from his best. So he was unable to take advantage of the low level of Carlos. And that's why he was down 2 sets to love. And I think in taking the direction of a 3 sets lost, and then Carlos started to cramp. No, he's not more fit than Carlos. Carlos is just very emotional and was super nervous, and that was the reason for his cramps. And that explains also this number of unforced error and big unforced errors. The balls were really going extremely far out, and for a guy like Alcaraz that has so much feel and so much touch, just shown that the nerves were hitting him hard. I mean, Alcaraz has to stay in the match. That's all he needs to do. Stay focused. And for sure, at some point, Zverev is going to choke too, especially as he will move towards a victory, potential victory against Alcaraz in the semis. At the moment, he's playing his best, but during a match, there are moments that are hot moments for you and some colder ones. So a lot of things can happen still, trust me. Okay, he saved his service game. That's a good thing for him. That just means he's still 1 break down, which is really manageable. Maybe some games he won't have any chance because of the quality of the serve of Zverev, but there will also be games, or at least one, where he will have the chance. So, as I said, the only thing that is important for him is to save his service games until he gets this opportunity that he will have at some point. Yeah, I agree, Niklas 05. Usually, Zverev is returning from a deeper position. He took the decision to return from closer because I think he doesn't want to give space to Alcaraz. He doesn't want to give him time. And he knows that, Alcaraz would hit a great drop shot after his serve. So he's going to expose himself too much. I think that's the reason why he decided it. What a great angle for Zverev. He was not doing things like this in the first 3 sets. Again, amazing backhand. Yeah, we have a stat. Let's look at it. A stat that shows things that are a bit different from what we've seen in the first 3 sets. First, Zverev has won 5 out of 5 of the shots 0-4 when he returns. And when it goes over 4 shots, now it's 50-50. So it shows that really Zverev improved from the start of the match to now a lot. And it just shows that now the bar is high. And if Alcaraz wants to have a chance to come back in that match, he will need to really raise his level a lot. Good job from Carlos. Now starting to play better, but let's see if he's able to play as good at 40-30 as he's played good at love 40 and at 15-40. I meant, of course, the opposite. I meant 40 love, 40-15. He played great. Let's see if at 40-30, when he gets close to coming back to deuce, he's able to produce the same quality. Second serve, Zverev. My internet breaks down crazy. I don't see the match. I'm sorry. I would love to, especially I feel it's an important moment, but I have no internet at all. Oh yeah, he continues to play great tennis. I mean, in his history, Carlos has never been so good that when he's down on the score. As it's a very important moment, of course, both of the players feel the pressure. Oh my God. The drop shots was so bad and is the best guy nobody hits better drop shots than Alcaraz, but he's so nervous. Oh my God, look at how floating it is. And then what about the volley missed by Zverev, which is so close to the net and the volley is way over the net. He just has to put the ball in and he misses it. So another break point. Now, second break point. Zverev was 40 love up in that game. And another missed return on both. He had 2 break points and twice he missed the return. Yeah, the serve was good, but come on. It's a break point in the 5th. You're 1 breakdown, hit the hell ball inside the court. And the first one was a missed return on a second serve. It's almost impossible to say who's going to win. I mean, there is clearly an advantage now for Zverev because he has the break. Because of the mistakes of the guys. And it's one, then it's the other one, then it's one, then it's the other one. I don't know what to think. And usually you can feel, in this case, in Roland Garros final between Sinner and Alcaraz, you didn't know because of the quality of the game of both of the guys. But today it's more about their mistakes than their winners. And another forehand mistake from Alcaraz for a 3-1 lead for Zverev. 15 love. Alcaraz now in trouble, big trouble, so of course he lifts his level. It's not a good shot. He just get rid of the ball on that drop shot. And I have an information that is interesting. In that fifth set, let me see that point, and great passing shot cross court for Zverev. In this fifth set, Carlos is making an error on 50% of the shots when Zverev changes direction. So you can think, oh yeah, because physically is, still suffering. But in this fifth set, he's already completed as many sprints as in the fourth set and completed his normal percentage of distance covered at high speed. So he's getting back to physically normal. So it's just confidence in his movement probably that affects his shot quality when he's moved to the sides. Big danger now because it's a big mistake from Zverev because that was such an important point. If Zverev would have made it, he would have had 2 break points for double break in the fifth, 30-all. And he was serving so well being with Cramps, and in the fifth he's down to 47% of first serves. Now that he puts the legs in, without the legs he was serving way better. He's not serving in. 44% of first serves in that fifth set. Zverev who lost the point because Alcaraz serve body and he chose to run around his forehand to hit a backhand, but then by doing so he opened completely the other side. And of course, seeing that, Carlos took the ball early and that was enough to... The win predictor gives 86% of chances to win to Zverev. Yes, he will. Yeah. 86% to Zverev. And it is a win predictor that is based on really the characteristics of the players today. What they do well, what they don't do well, how they win, how they lose the points, and facing each other. It better save his service game, Alcaraz. Well done again. Same mistake. Moved around his forehand to hit a backhand, opening completely the outside, and if you're able to take the ball early and go there, it's a winner for sure. Once again, a missed shot from Alcaraz with his body weight completely going backwards once in contact with the ball. Not only he doesn't serve many first serves in, but also he doesn't win the points to his first serve. And when he was cramping, he was both having a huge high percentage of first serves and winning most of the points after his first. Great job with his slice, body, and forehand down the line again. Great half volley from Alcaraz, and he saves his service game, so everything is still possible. 3-2 Zverev. Alcaraz was asking the crowd to help him. Zverev will serve in a few minutes, and we're heading towards the end of that match. And as we do, there will be less and less opportunities to break for Carlos. So he's better show a super focus and take his chance. 4 hours and 44 minutes of play. 2 sets all, 3-2 Zverev to serve. Thank you for that statistic, Silent Wolf, who says that Sasha has only come back once to win from 2 sets down in a Grand Slam. Yes, but today's a bit special because I don't think it would have gone to 5 sets if Carlos didn't cramp. He really had a big grip on the match, 2 sets to love, and we could feel that he was really superior. Why does Zverev need to drink after he was ready to serve? Suddenly. Yeah, of course, that was a huge time violation. Met is so tough with the chair umpires that they're scared to call it. 30 love Zverev, but we can see that Alcaraz is back to moving really well. Zverev is changing direction quite a lot, which is a smart thing to do. We've seen a statistic that showing that in that 5th set, when Zverev changes direction, Alcaraz is missing 1 shot out of 2, but we saw that again the movement is back to normal and a good return that gave Alcaraz the opportunity to step in and hit a forehand winner. It all comes from the return. But you see how much he applied spin on that return to get the ball to stay in the court. Oh, my God. That's the shot of the match, 100%. After an unbelievable drop volley from Zverev, the sprint of Alcaraz was ridiculous. And the way he put this ball away from him, that's completely insane. So I don't want to hear anyone telling me that he's still cramping. He's not cramping at all, and he's back to full physical. Thank you, Paul Temple, for telling that UTS is more exciting. This is exactly what is a problem for tennis, the downtime. Too much downtime. We're here for 4 hours and 50 minutes. so almost 5 hours. And I would like to know how, from that 5 hours, how much time the ball was in play. And I can tell you, I think, let's take a bet. Out of those 5 hours. Breakpoint. Oh my God, another mistake from Alcaraz. Oh my God, it's killing me that every time he has an opportunity, he hits an unforced error. Yeah, we lost Cramps and we're back to unforced errors. Yeah, I'm suffering. I'm suffering, especially after watching the Alcaraz Sinner final in Roland Garros with it was only winners on both sides. Such quality tennis. I can't really say the same about this match. Thankfully, we had this incredible shot from Alcaraz, because otherwise, way too many unforced errors. Good job from Zverev. I don't know if Alcaraz is out of shape, but is out of breath after a rally that's not crazy. It was a good rally, but he had the 200 rallies like this in Roland Garros final. So I'm surprised that he's so much out of breath. So is it because he's still very nervous and doesn't breathe well while he's rallying, or is it a problem of fitness form? So I can bet that during those 5 hours of match, there was not more than 1 hour and a half of real tennis, and the rest was downtime. So the Latin guy, now you're rooting for Zverev suddenly because he's Russian? Of course, he's Russian. Both of the parents are Russian. He was born in Germany, but with both Russian parents. By the way, same as Tsitsipas, not both, but the mom is Russian too. And at some point, the top 10 was a lot of non-Russian Russians. There was Medvedev and Zverev, who are real Russians with the nationality, and then you had Zverev with both parents Russian. You had Tsitsipas with mother Russian. Popyrin is Russian too, yeah, 100%, both of the parents. Okay, 4-2 Zverev. In that fifth set, another breakpoint opportunity in that set that Carlos didn't make. He had 3 breakpoints in that third set, didn't make one. Zverev had one. I mean, he made it. It was a double fault from Alcaraz, but yes, until the end. 4-2 Zverev, good rally, 9.9 plus. Yeah, more than 9 shots. Zverev wins the immense majority of those rallies. That's an amazing drop shot from Alcaraz. So just as an information, there is 45 minutes between those two matches. So in this one and the next semifinal, whatever happens, 2 more game points for Alcaraz to come back to 3-4. And a mistake of Zverev. Alcaraz still alive, but 1 breakdown. And I can feel that, I think it's clearly established now that, the next match might not start before 10 p.m. Australian time. Yeah, so I think it's quite obvious and established now that Alcaraz was extremely nervous coming to that match. Actually, Zverev too, which impacted a lot the quality of the first 2 sets and a half. But still, even though the quality was low, Alcaraz was emerging as the better player, and he was heading towards a 3 sets, to me, a 3 sets win. And then, what is he doing? Why is he watching an iPad? And then cramps came because of the nerves. And I feel that in the 5th set, with no more cramps, the nervousness comes back in Carlos' camp whenever he has opportunities. Because every time he had a break point, he missed the shot straight away. 4-3 Zverev to serve. That's the last 2 service games of Zverev where Alcaraz might have an opportunity to break. And Zverev knows it. So let's see how much it affects Zverev performance. It's going to be key for Alcaraz in that service returning game to return the ball in play like he just did. And Zverev hit an unforced error forehand way too far, just showing a bit of nerve. So yeah, the return is in, and again a backhand this time far out. Love 30. What we expected to happen is happening. Now Carlos has to step up on this one. If he wins this point, he has 3 break points in a row. We can imagine him winning at least one of those 3, and that would bring back Carlos to 4-all. But this point is a major point. Zverev needs the first serve. He does, but the return is in. He's fighting. Oh, that's a pity, not to say more, that Carlos is not able to at least put this ball back in play. He should have. He was on the ball. How come? 30 out. Gonna be a second serve again. Another opportunity. If he wins this point, he has 2 break points in a row, Carlos. It's a second serve. The return is in. Backhand to backhand. Really, and a good forehand. Yeah, but a bit too passive. He played center a bit low and gave opportunity to Zverev to control the rally, which he did first with the forehand. And then defense again too short from Alcaraz, and then a good forehand down the line winner. And we're finally reaching the 5 hours of play. The hour and a half of tennis and the 3.5 hours of wait, but it's still 5 hours. 30 all. Good serve for Zverev. Again, forcing a short return from Carlos, and then he hit a very good backhand down the line winner. We knew there will be some opportunities, but yeah, good ball placement, but Carlos didn't really take the chance. He didn't miss, which is already better than what he did in the previous occasions, but a big mistake again from Zverev that gets so tight, which I understand it's big for him. I mean, if he's able to beat Alcaraz in the semis of the Australian Open to reach the final, for him it's really big. It was completely unexpected, and plus, I mean, 3 hours ago it was impossible to believe it. Back to deuce. Serve, short return from Alcaraz. Oh, wow. The volley of Zverev was really average, and this gave the opportunity for Carlos to average pass Zverev, who touched the ball but couldn't put it back in play, and it's another break point. Let's see if this time Carlos is at least returning in the court and not missing the next shot. If so, we'll see, but he's returning in, he's not missing the next shot. So there is a rally. Now, actually a good rally, a very good rally. Great tennis. Oh my God, he goes for too much and misses Alcaraz. That's... This match is really not because of the quality, but because of the scenario. It's really nerve-wracking, and it's, in a way, it's cool to see. I see Zverev winning that match from that point. Both of the players are really out of breath. Also because I think both are so nervous at that moment. It affects the way you breathe. Oh, what a return from Alcaraz. Crazy. Courageous from Zverev to come to the net, but no, he puts himself in the worst position because he's not confident enough there. And another break point for Carlos. How many did he get in this set? 4. And he didn't make one. Zverev got one, made it. I mean, again, it was a double fault from Alcaraz, but yeah, he didn't come to the net on purpose. You're right, Marcus. He was forced. Serve is out, so it's going to be second serve again to save this 5th break point. Oh la 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 la, what a big mistake from Carlos again. Very late, moving around the ball, miss hitting it. This game is lasting for 7 hours and 20 minutes already. A lot of opportunities for Carlos. 0 out of 5 break points. And as we know, a match goes one side or the other on the ability of both players to transform the opportunities. And the less you transform them, oh la la, what a bad drop shot from Alcaraz again. Gonna be a game point now. He's missing his opportunities, so his chances of success get less and less. And now it's a game point for a 5-3 lead in the 5th for Zverev. Misses the first serve again. Short second serve. Rally going on. Oh, too good for Zverev. Forehand down the line, running. Forehand down the line winner. And the more you miss opportunities, the more you're gonna miss opportunities because it gets into your head. And on the other hand, the other player feels more and more confident because he's done it so many times to save break points. If Zverev wins that match, for sure it's the biggest win of his career, by far. By far. For me, there is a difference of level between those two players that is huge, and the scenario was going completely against him. It's a grand semifinal of a Grand Slam, and so if he wins this one, it's going to be a game changer mentally for him. That's what I think. Now, Alcaraz has no other option than to win his serve, and then it's going to be his last chance to break Zverev. Otherwise, it's going to be game over. Zverev moving backwards on this Alcaraz second serve. Very good backhand on the line for Zverev again. 15-all. Why do you want to know already who would win against Zverev and Sinner? Let's look at the other semifinals. Let's have a look. I mean, first of all, Sinner has to beat Djokovic, and second, let's see the level of Sinner in the semis. Then we can talk about it. Every match, I think we discover something. You know, the Sladan guy, you know things I don't know. So thank you for letting me know. Shall we still watch the semis, or we know already the result? What do you think? 30-15, Alcaraz. Such a bad drop shot again from Alcaraz, but Zverev doesn't even take advantage of it. And 2 game points for Alcaraz, and then it's going to be interesting, this 5-4 game. Zverev is going to serve for a Grand Slam, another Grand Slam final, but more than that, a win against Alcaraz. So let's see what he's able to do. Anyway, first, it's still 5-3, 40-30, and Alcaraz has to make it. He has to make that point and go back to 5-4. Then we'll see. Second serve, what a big mistake from Zverev. And here we are, 5-4 in the 5th. Zverev will serve to win that match, to beat Alcaraz in semi-final of the Australian Open and make another final like last year. I think Alcaraz is a bit overplaying at the moment. For me, it just shows that he's really unconfident, but it's going to be very difficult for Zverev to hold his nerves, like it was difficult already to hold his nerves at 4-3 when he served for 5-3 lead. For a 5-3 lead, Alcaraz had 2 or 3 break points, couldn't make them, but he started his service game by making 2 big unforced errors. So let's see. FLA FLA 70. I guess people will write to you what happened. I would like to focus on this game that is huge. 5-4, Zverev in the 5th, serving for the match. Let's see if he's able to hold his nerves and play a level that is good enough to win the game. And let's see if Alcaraz is able to raise his level at a moment when he has no other option than this one or lose. Let's also see if Zverev is able to hit some first serves, some good first serves, because he needs them. Okay, Alcaraz takes the decision to be defensive and hits a good passing shot. I mean, his option was to bring Zverev to the net to pass him, and he did it with hitting a forehand slice, so the ball was low. It was pushing Zverev to lift it up, so it slowed down his ball, and he had a lot of time to pass him. Also, the approach was really short. Love 15. Wow. That's a mistake from Zverev, but Carlos, I mean, the intensity is there. You can see the racket head speed. It's really hitting the ball hard. The hands are free. You can see it because the racket head speed is really good. Not like what he was doing at the start of the match with balls escaping. Love 30 again. I think it's 3 service games in a row when he starts love 30. The return is in, backhand to backhand. Now it's a forehand of Zverev. Alcaraz, oh no. Alcaraz tried to run around the backhand, but get again caught, not moving fast enough, and then had to miss it. 30, 15, 30. Every time he was down love 30, Alcaraz made a mistake. 15, 30 now. I think this point is such a key, because if it's 15, 30 or 30 all, it's a world of difference. World. Because at 30 all, the pressure is back on Carlos. Oh, that's an amazing forehand. Great return. An amazing forehand cross court. And 2 break points in a row for Carlos Alcaraz. So far in that 5th set, he has been super inefficient on the break points. 0 out of 5. And now he has 2 more. But it's not everything in his hands, because Zverev can hit 2 great first serves. Let's see if he can hit 1 already to erase the first break point. No, he can't. It's going to be on a second serve. What's going to happen is Carlos going to be able to return in, which he didn't do much on the important points in this 5th set. Ooh la la. Zverev, who didn't serve this second serve, he didn't like his toss. He took it back. Toss was showing also nervousness, because the first time he does it in the match. Very good return, very deep. That's great from Carlos. And it's a break. He finally made it. How slow did Zverev move to this backhand? Carlos played behind him, and the reaction time was extremely slow. Was it nerves? Is it because he's tired? He looks exhausted. And I think if he's tired that much, it's not because they're playing for long, because there were not many long rallies in that match. It was not a tiring match, I think, but it was such a nervous match. So nervous. I think the 2 sets when Alcaraz was having cramps, I think nervously, Zverev was at 10 out of 10, and we could see it in the way he was playing, because, I mean, Alcaraz couldn't move, and Zverev won the 2 sets 6-7, 6-7, 6 only against a player who can't move. Of course, yeah, he was hitting great shots, but he still couldn't move. So, I mean, it's crazy about nerves. Look, I mean, so many occasions to break in the 5th, to break back from Alcaraz. He doesn't make them. Then 5-4, no more option than to break, and suddenly it happens. And Zverev looks really tired at the moment, really tired. Alcaraz doesn't look tired at all. Oh, wow. Zverev again running around his forehand to hit a backhand, and then hits the line on the second one. 5-all, 15-all. In the 5th set, Alcaraz to serve. And if Alcaraz wins his service game, I'm so curious to see the service game of Zverev, what it's going to look like. But imagine how much energy did this Zverev spent being so upset at every point in the first 2 sets. That's amazing. Amazing how Carlos is playing at the moment, like hitting the lines, taking the ball early. Yeah, so it's so nervous, shouting at his team, but you can feel that inside he was boiling for 2 sets. And then Carlos cramps, and is so tight. He's so tight for 2 sets again. Imagine all this energy. I mean, you lose more energy being so tight and playing than playing for 5 hours being loose. 30-15, and he shows Alcaraz that he's tired, which can be a very bad thing, but can be a good thing too, because you can have him thinking, but it doesn't work. Carlos hits an incredible drop shot behind at the right time, behind Zverev. He sees Zverev also is tired, and he thinks, oh, let's make him run one more. And 2 game points for Alcaraz, and that's done. 6-5 lead for Alcaraz in the 5th. You know, he's been asking the crowd to cheer, pumping his feet when he was his fist. Sorry, when he was really every time down a break at every changeover, looking at the crowd. It was overplaying, but it was a good thing to do because he was pushing himself doing that also, and it worked. It really worked. And yeah, he did. I'm sure 100% he didn't do that to get into the head of Zverev, but more for him to pump himself when he was down. And this service game of Zverev is going to be super hard for the German, who's obviously super tired. And so far, it looks like the nightmare scenario. He plays someone who's cramping, who can't move, and he ends up being serving for the match in the 5th. And now he is 6-5 down, and he has to serve to stay in the match and force a tiebreak. And I love that match. I didn't like it for long because the quality of the tennis was really low. I mean, especially when you refer to the Roland Garros final, it's so much lower. But the scenario is amazing. The cramps, the break in the 5th of Zverev, the fact that Alcaraz cannot convert any opportunities. He has 5, he can't make 1 the whole set to come back. And when Zverev serves for the match, he finally breaks. Great first serve and an ace to start. He needs it badly, I tell you. Yeah, when the return is in, it's going to be more difficult in this game for Zverev. That's why he really needs his serve. He needs it. 15-0, 6-5. Alcaraz in the 5th, 15-0. Zverev serving. Yeah. He needs to serve in his first serve. He needs the first serve, otherwise he's in trouble. But this one, Alcaraz returns, and the rally starts. Forehand down the line. Too deep from Alcaraz. Alcaraz, who decided to move the ball around a lot in the last games. He doesn't stay forehand to forehand or backhand to backhand, but goes down the line quite early. 30-15, another serve for Zverev, and it's out. Can't believe if there is a super tiebreak, the tension that the 2 players will face. They can serve, hit the net, so it's going to be another one. And we see Sinner in the corridor, walking, waiting for his match to start. But it's too early. He should go back to the locker room because there is 45 minutes between the 2 matches, and this one is not finished yet. What a backhand return on second serve from Alcaraz down the line. And back to 30-all. I tell you, on second serve is in huge danger. Zverev, he needs his first serve. I think it's important at this point to make sure the first serve is in, take a bit of pace away, put a bit more spin, but make sure you don't miss it. I mean, with this height, you should be able to hit the first serve in if you really want to, and it's in. It's in, and it forces a mistake from Alcaraz. Now, 1 point from a super tiebreak in the 5th, 1 point away from the most incredible scenario of this Australian Open by far in this semifinal. And he needs another first serve, of course. Oh, good return from Alcaraz. Yeah, now it's difficult for Zverev. You can see when he needs to move fast to a side, he will miss way more. So if Alcaraz is aggressive enough and able to control his shots and not hit too many hard-forced errors, is going to be dominant in most of the rallies. So Zverev has no other option to pass his first serve, and he does again, and he misses the forehand by far. Way too slow to move around that backhand, and it's the first match point for Alcaraz. First match point for Alcaraz. I mean, it shows one more time that Zverev is really physically struggling at the end of that match. He lost too much energy by being angry than by being stiff, nervous, and it pays off now. He needs the first serve badly, and it hits the net, but it's in, so it's going to be another chance. Another chance to hit a first serve in for Zverev to save that first match point of Alcaraz. Oh, it's a great serve, and he goes down the line. Oh my God, and it's win! Unbelievable! Unbelievable! This passing shot down the line of Alcaraz. He was so far from the ball, came back like a bomb running, and hit that shot down the line. And that's a bit the story of the match, because a lot of important moments, Zverev has missed volleys that, were very costly. I mean, the most unpredictable scenario today most unpredictable. I'm not going to say what happened because I've said it, I feel 20 times during that final. But what a champion, again, 5-4. I mean, 5-4, the other guy serving for the match. And again, he was able to play the best. I mean, by far, the best level he's played is in the last games of the fifth set. And starting so bad, having cramps, and being able to play this kind of tennis at the end, this guy mentally is something else. I can tell you, is something else mentally. And it's interesting because he's weak in a way because he's super emotional. And we saw it one more time today. And sometimes he really struggles to handle his emotions, but on the other side, he's so strong. And that's what I've seen in many champions. They are so weak in some things and so incredibly strong on others. That's amazing what he's done today. He can be really proud of himself. He dug so deep. He comes back from hell. Actually, also Zverev came back from hell today. So, I mean, amazing match. Not the level again, but I mean, the level in the fifth was way better, and the scenario was the most amazing scenario you can imagine. And I feel also for Zverev, who fought for 5 hours and 27 minutes, and it's so tough to end up winning such an important match and this way to lose it this way. That's amazing. This passing shot from Alcaraz, and we're going to see the crowd jumping after the match point. Alcaraz has so many fans. Wow. We need to recover. I'm happy we have 45 minutes before the next semifinal. How can we recover from that? Novak Djokovic and Yannick Sinner, and we're going to see which player is going to play against Alcaraz in the final. And for Alcaraz now, it's all about recovering, because recovering from a 5 hours and 27 minutes match with 2 full sets of cramping, I can tell you the level of soreness of Alcaraz tomorrow is going to be extremely high. So I hope for him that he's going to, have the right people to do the best possible recovery. Let's listen to him. He's going to speak to Jim Courier now. I'm going to leave you, and I see you for the next match in around 45 minutes. Bye-bye.